We even now begin with the way Louisiana is trying to stop the advance of oil into their marshes. Barrier Island sand berms. It's a frontline defense of the oil that Louisiana says is critical to protect its wetlands, which are further inland, and to protect its coastline and its ecosystem. The Obama administration had approved 2 berm building operations, but tonight it has ordered one of the operations to stop. The Department of Interior says the dredging threatens a wildlife refuge, a claim the Governor Bobby Jindal finds hard to believe. I travel with Governor Jindal and Plaquemines Parish President Billy Nungesser to one dredging site where the work has stopped. Take a look. From the air, it doesn't look like much. A partially built sand berm near the Chandler Islands. The state of Louisiana is building it to prevent oil from moving farther inland. But now it's a battleground. Federal officials say the spot this dredging barge is taking sediment from is potentially eroding what remains of the pre-existing barrier island. The Interior Department says until the state can build a pipeline to transport sediment from farther away, no more work can be done here.
All we're saying is don't force us to stop. We'll replace every bit of dirt we're borrowing. It was part of the original permitted area. It will take us literally just 5 to 7 more days to build the pipeline to move the 2 miles away they want us to move, and we'll replace every bit of dirt we borrowed within weeks. Governor Bobby Jindal says in the 5 to 7 days it'll take them to build a new pipeline, they could also build another mile of sand berm. Now, they talk about this hypothetical concern. What about the real damage that oil is going to do? It's supposed to be here Friday. It's supposed to be here in the northern Chandeliers on Friday, according to the NOAA projections.
There's another mass of oil coming.
Absolutely. And we know this works. This isn't theoretical. This oil will cause real damage.
Environmental groups have raised doubts about the effectiveness of this berm project. Federal officials, however, did approve it. They just have a problem with where the current sediment is coming from.
You think folks in Washington don't get them?
You know, I think there's a lot of cheap rhetoric going around. We say we fight in a war. We are doing everything. Does this look like we're doing anything? Does this look like we're doing everything? This isn't doing everything. This is bureaucratic bull, finding reasons, and it's not even a good reason. We got local environments, so these guys are crazy. Where was the federal wildlife fishing for the last 50 years? They've not spent a dollar out here. They're gone. But say we can't build nothing back because it might hurt. It might hurt what's there. But every year we watch it deteriorate. We lose a few more. That's why the breeding grounds are so far inland where the oil is destroyed now.
Billy Nungesser and the governor brought a group of reporters to the island today, hoping to put pressure on the Interior Department to reverse their decision.
I don't believe they've got the right sense of urgency. I don't think they understand that every hour counts, every day counts. We don't have time for meetings. We don't have time for committees and conference calls. They need to make a decision. We need to move forward, and we need to do it quickly.
But despite the governor's frustration, as of now, the Interior Department's decision stands. The work has halted, the dredging has stopped, and the battle between state and federal officials goes on. Well, you saw Plaquemines Parish President Billy Nungesser a moment ago. He joins us now by phone. Billy, there was a meeting late today with the Interior Department where they were going to review this. Any word on what happened there?
Yeah, they denied it. We've got to wait the 9 to 10 days to build this pipeline. And the lady that, same lady that stood up in the meeting in New Orleans that eventually approved the permit, and she kept giving us every reason why we can't do this, is the one that shut us down, that Jane Linder. And to give you the kind of person we're dealing with, she sent an email out today that said, could we possibly move volunteers to shorten that time frame? Obviously, this lady's doesn't know what a dredge is, doesn't know what a barrier island is. It's a 36-inch steel pipe, lady. You don't move it with volunteers. And the pelicans she's worried about, Anderson, you saw that small grass area behind us. This berm, by Friday, would have protected that small, one of the last breeding grounds out there left. But this project being shut down, if that all comes to the Chandeliers by Friday, like projected, those pelicans, those breeding grounds will be destroyed because she single-handedly stopped this project. And I want to put her on notice that I will send her those pictures personally because she will personally be responsible for killing hundreds of pelicans.
But look, I mean, the Interior Department, you know, they're not malicious. I talked to a guy from the Interior Department last night who said, look, you know, we have legitimate concerns about where this sand is being dredged from and that it's going to cause greater harm to these barrier islands which have been eroding. You say they haven't been paying attention to these islands for years?
It could. Just like we've been hearing, could, would, shoulda, maybe. Those are not comments made when you go to war. It could. You know what? It could rain cats and dogs tonight. Come on, guys. We at war here. It could. We're going to replace the sand. Let me tell you something, Anderson. I thought about this a little while ago when you talked about the general being replaced. And I don't agree with anybody speaking out that's in the armed forces against our leader and our chief. But I think it's time for the president to take a step back. He's got a bigger problem. Just like the problems we have with the Interior Secretary, with Thad Allen, with everybody with the administration. The only way anything ever got done was the president coming down here himself. Well, if people in the military have those inner thoughts about his administration, the same thoughts all of Louisiana has, he's got a bigger problem than a loose-lip general. He better take a soul search and look at the people surrounding him, because the job ain't getting done here, and it obviously ain't getting done over there. And we got a serious problem in this country, and the President of the United States better address it, because it's not just somebody like me or him or anybody sounding off at the mouth. It's what we truly feel, that we are getting the runaround, we're not getting the truth half the time, and nobody has the sense of urgency to do anything, whether it be here or obviously overseas. And I'm sure whoever he replaced him with may not say that. But if that hero is thinking that, I guarantee you it's widespread in the military. So the president needs to do a little soul searching. I don't want to tell him how to do his job, but he needs to take a step back and say, I got some problems up here in Washington, and I better address them and quit letting bureaucrats stand in the way of defending this country and protecting our wetlands. I'm fed up
to hear to hear, as we learned tonight, that according to these new documents released by the Coast Guard, that BP was offered technology back on May 4th to measure the leak. And on May 19th, you have Lamar McKay testifying that they don't know about any technology to measure the leak. What do you make of that?
I told you about two products that were brought to me by local scientists here in Louisiana. Versabar had one, and the guy that started Krispy Kringle Donuts. Both of them would have measured every drop. They wasn't even considered. We've been saying that from day one. But you know what? Once again, we find out we were lied to. Just like the disbursements, we're going to keep it on the bottom. Well, now it's coming in underneath the surface. We haven't even re-looked to see if we should quit spraying this stuff and maybe have a fighting chance on top of the water. We just keep letting them spray. This is the biggest debacle in the history. I am so unbelievably upset about this. We fought for months to get this dredge approved. Men and women are working around the clock. Anderson, we put lights on our boats tonight to go out at night and pick up oil in the bays where you went out with us, because we're tired of losing the battle. And we are getting absolutely shut down. And bureaucrats in Washington, this is unbelievable. This doesn't seem like America.
Billy Nungesser, I appreciate you talking with us tonight. Billy, thanks very much. Let us know what you think at home. Join the live chat now going on at ac360.com. You can talk to other viewers watching in America, in the Gulf, around the world right now. Up next, searing